The way you speak when you're in the UK. I was in the UK balik for 6 years. That was from 2014 to 2020 when I was doing my doctorate. And bilang nag-iisang Pinoy, and being the youngest in the cohort, you have to really blend in and adjust to the culture. We always have a saying that when you are in Rome, you do what Romans do. Because if you will not do that, it will be very difficult for you to eventually adjust and work with your fellow peers. It's not being overacting, but sometimes we Filipino are used to American English. So adapting to a British English is quite challenging but exciting as well. Thank you.
What are the best practices you have acquired in England that you are planning or have already applied in your business here in the country?
Okay. The UK system, leading from my experience, is different. First, by culture. The second one is how they think. They are more liberated. They are more open-minded. And number three, they always want to go outside of the box. Now, if you will ask me what are the things that I did that I have incorporated in all of the businesses I had, which our employees or family now experience, we consider them as extended families. I don't treat them as my employees. That's why yung mga empleyado namin, they stay with us 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, someone even stayed for 22 years since we created the company. Now, the first thing I did was to always empower them to be part of a bigger picture and letting them be part of your decision-making process. The more na nararamdaman ng tao mo that they are important because you involve them in making decisions, hindi dahil ikaw ang owner at kapitalista ng negosyo at ikaw lang ang masusunod, the more they feel valued. That's number one. Number two, we have to always listen for feedbacks. Most traditional family business, ako ang may hawak ng pera, ako ang aplista, ako ang masusunod. Based on research, the more that way gumagawa tayo ng decision, the more na magsasara ang negosyo. What we did, why did we became consistently number one for the past 5 years? Because we always ask for feedbacks. Because from these feedbacks, we grow, we learn, we improve, and we can eventually motivate everyone to be still part of your company. Last but not the least, number three is you have to be open-minded. Being grown in the Philippines, I was born in the Philippines, raised up in the Philippines, studied as well in the Philippines. I know that being open-minded is one of the most challenging tasks that we have to do. Most importantly, if you are not open for change. Remember, in lifestyle, change is inevitable. And that's the only thing that remains to be constant. So, let me go back. We have to be open-minded. Let's ask for feedbacks. And let's engage and involve everyone in decision making. Thank you.
Okay. A question from Dix Michael Louis Almacen.
Hi, Doc.
Hello.
Ano, pagkakita ko kayo, ganda-ganda lang ako. You're the face of success. Good vibes. Pero, how do you handle mga failure? How do you handle failure?
For me, failure is part of life. It will always be. However, these failures should not be the cause. Hindi dapat siya maging sanhi ng demotivation mo or being lost in the track where you want to go. Let's always consider, it may be easy to say, like what I'm going to say to everyone now, that failure must be part of your motivation to succeed. However, hindi kasi lahat will look failure that perspective. Kahit sabihin mo pa sa isang tao who always fail, and someone telling him, and that person telling him is always succeeding, that failure is part of life, it's not always to be that case. Now, if you will ask me, I don't want to give, let us say, recommendations to those who always fail. But at least what we can do is we have to motivate them, give them some light and direction that they can still achieve and they can be who they want to be and no one can stop them. Sometimes, in the culture of the Philippines, kung sino pa rin expect natin who will help us to achieve, those are the people who will not help us. In fact, in business, in my business, I was expecting more important people who will help me, who will I become right now aside from my family. But I was wrong. The first person who helped me outside of my family were strangers. And these strangers helped me to realize that failure should make you stronger and make you a better person along the way. Thank you.
Pero ano yung pinaka-challenging yung pinagdaanan sa buhay?
No one believed in me. No one. When you are about to start and you wanted to prove something, you will always be an outcast because you haven't achieved anything else or yet. I think that's the right thing. But once you move forward in your life, you realize that it's not about proving, it's about doing. Because the more you keep on proving, the more that people will always just ignore you. But when you start doing, and that doing results to what you love doing, because at the end of the day, action speaks louder than words. That is where how you handle your failures.
Ano yung unang ginagawa nyo pag-agising?
Pagising ko is I do the sign of the cross. I always put everything to God, and after that, you have to continue what you love doing, not because you just need to do it.
Madali ba kayo magalit? Or how do you handle mga under management?
Under management, ang ganda ng tanong mo. Ako, kahit marami akong tao, as much as gusto kong magalit, iisipin ko tao din yan nagkakamali. Pero there are points or certain cases that you have to manage your patience. It's not unlimited. So at the end of the day, meron kang tinatawag na situational leader. You can be easy to get angry with, or you can still manage, but you have to adjust. So it depends on the situation. But if you will ask me, do you get angry right on the spot or immediately? No. At ayoko ng away.
Okay, so do you believe in macro-management more or a combination of both?
That's a very good question. Micromanagement will only happen as a result of your assessment if your team is performing or not. Example, nakita ko yung tao ko, magaling. He or she can do the things that he or she needs to do. Without even me telling, micromanagement should not be done at all costs. What you can do is just coach. However, macromanagement will happen if the company is already good to go and you have already empowered yourselves and you have already replicated yourself to be like you so that they can already do it on their own. So micromanagement will only happen if there is a need, but ideally if your team is performing, ibig sabihin may willingness yan, may ability yan, then macromanagement should be the picture.
If you're going to be the president of this country, ano yung unang bagay na gagawin mo or ipapatipan mo?
That's a very political question. I think it's really more about adapting what I have understood from the private sector to the public sector, because private sector and public sector are completely different in terms of management. There are so many bureaucracies in the public sector, which I don't want to get into. But if I am given the chance, I think it's more on getting the best practice of what's working in the private sector that I could eventually use as my skill set to lead.
Last one, if gagawin yung pelikula yung board mo, sino yung artista na nakikita yung bagay yung nasa?
Napakahirap na tanong, lalo pag hindi showbiz person. I'm not really a good person to ask for artista because hindi kasi ganun ka big deal yung artista sa akin. Well, I love watching movies but not to the point of getting know sino yung mga artista yung personal life nila because I'm busy doing, the priorities for my people. So as of this moment, I would like to make some reservations on that question. Thank you.
Sir Doc,
Yes.
you mentioned earlier, di ba, yung MASA, isa mga business ventures mo. Can you tell us more about MASA?
Okay, so MASA is
Business.
MASA is one of the 7 or 8 companies which I manage. It's a below-the-line advertising agency. We work with several multinational companies. It's actually the #1 now in the Philippines. We provide all of the outsourcing requirements of all the multinational companies, like merchandising, in-store promotions, activations, market research, store-to-store selling. So, yeah, because of that business, we were able to provide jobs for everyone. Not just in Manila, but all over our 41 offices in the Philippines.
Ano to daw? Dito lang sa Manila or you have outside?
We have in the entire Philippines. Yes.
Local lang.
I was the one who established our first international branch in Jakarta, Indonesia. I was 24 years old. Sumugal lang din ako doon. There is a story behind that. Alam mo ako, I always believe in taking risk. Because kung hindi tayo susugal, we will never know the answers. So yes, we were able to create a company in Indonesia with our partnership. We have 10 offices in Indonesia. So, thank you.
Talking Bamboo Shades, can you tell us more about yung partnership with other?
Okay, so Bamboo Sunglasses is a company that has also a unique story. So what happened was, in 2019, there was a strong typhoon that struck the Philippines. And tinamaan ng bagyo, yung Cebu, and our house was badly damaged. So sabi ng nanay ko sa akin, anak, pumunta ka ng mall. Ano gagawin ko doon, ma? Bumili ka ng mga gamit na kailangan natin papalit sa mga nasira sa bahay. I went to the mall, I went to the department store, and I have realized na karamihan sa mga gamit na nabibili mo sa loob ng department store are gawa sa plastic. Isn't it quite interesting na tayo yung pinakatinamaan na mga bagyo, but we do not have any programs or campaigns that we can use for sustainability. And these European countries that has no involvement, hindi man lang naramdaman yung mga bagyo na yan, even were the one who was very aggressive in creating campaigns for sustainability. So, I was walking into the aisle of the department store and I realized, bakit hindi tayo gumawa ng product na gawa sa isang sustainable product? And that is made from bamboo. Then the next question is, anong klaseng product? It has to have something related with beach, something that you can wear, that is quite unique. That's why we have created that Bamboo Sunglasses. And the rest is history. There is also a story behind that, coming from a business now. As I shared kanina with our fellow friends, no one believed in me. Sabi ko sa kanila, uy, gumawa ako ng negosyo. Anong negosyo mo? Bamboo Sunglasses. Okay. 3 years ago. Now, they always ask me, how did you do it? We are now located in the most exclusive resorts like Shangri-La, Crimson, Balisin. We are also found in Quest, in all of the SM Cultura, Robinson's department stores, Metro Gaisano, Gaisano Brand. We have 200 partners now and rapidly growing. We are the #1 brand in Panglao, in Shangra, in Siargao, in Cebu, Palawan, among others. Lahat ng tao na sa loob ng bahay, naka-lockdown. Ako kumakatok sa bawat hotel, nagtatanim. Baka naman pwede kami makapag-work with you on a partnership for sustainability. And that sustainability is, for every sunglass we sell, we plant 1 tree together with Haribon Foundation. No one believed in us. Sabi ko doon sa manager ng hotel, baka naman pwede. Sabi niya, ay, may lockdown pa ngayon. Hindi po. Wala pong problema. All I need is a partnership. We can have a display there, we'll cover it up. When the lockdown restrictions eases, latter of last year, the tourists started coming in. Pagpunta nila ngayon sa mga hotels, nandoon ang view. And the rest is history. Meron po sa department stores like in SM, in Mall of Asia, in Aura. It's already located out there. Yes, Cultura, we have in Robinson's department stores. Thank you.
Aside from Masa, Wood, PH, are there other business ventures that you are trying to get into? And what branding do you want to establish in the Philippines in terms of business and
Okay, thank you for your question. So aside from that, I also own a consulting firm, which is the Condino and Associates Consulting Firm, who helps me in my teaching role. Aside from that, I'm opening a cafe in front of Cloud9 in Siargao, Coastal Grounds. So if we're going to have an opening, I would like to invite you all, if you will be there. It's on me. We're opening there, that's Coastal Grounds, that's in front mismo ng surfing area ng Cloud9. Aside from that, we are also the distributor of egg raiser ng manok ng Magnolia in the entire Central Visayas. So lahat ng chicken sa Jollibee na makakain mo sa Cebu, sa Dumaguete at sa Bohol, galing sa amin yun. Aside from, among others, so these are some of the businesses that we have ventured on. But at the end of the day, it's not about, mas gusto ko tumayo. It's not about creating that business for my own use or for my personal use and for profit. I have a different point of view. And my point of view would always be, when you have that business, it creates opportunities. So if you will ask me, what do I see myself? I wanted to be a business icon, but not for my personal gain, but it's more driven into people-driven campaign. I want people to see me, si Doc Biggs, may trabaho yan. Or someone that an opportunity is awaiting despite of ano man ako, nakatapos man ako ng college o hindi. As long as I am willing. Because in our company, that is what we do. We don't look at the educational background. That's why people are saying, sige, hindi ka nakagraduate, I will give you 6 months to prove yourself that you can work with us. Because we believe that what you learn from school is only 30%. Even me, I'm a doctor, I have a PhD. But I don't believe that everything in the school, everything in the book is learned from the book and applied into practice. So I have already contradicted my own belief because I want to give opportunity for the people. And so if you will ask me, going back to your question, sir, I want people to see me as a business icon who is for the people or for the masses. Salamat po.
So, Doc, hindi kayo naniniwala na para maging kahera, dapat tapos ka ng kolehiyo?
Well, it depends. That's a very good question on the skill set requirements. Kapag may mga skill set requirements, for example, accounting, syempre, you have to get someone who is a graduate. But if someone, for example, a supervisor of a merchandiser, and that dicer or that supervisor has 15 years of merchandising experience, and the only thing missing is some leadership training, punin. Pwede. Kasi leadership and training could be understood as a result of your experience and practice. So again, going back to your question, sir, it depends on your skill set requirements based sa trabaho, like yung pag-usapan namin sa Radyo Aguila, sa taong nag-a-apply sa trabaho. Thank you.
So with all the companies that you're monitoring, we get enough sleep?
People always ask me kung natutulog pa ako. Yes, I still sleep. I always put health as my priority. Minimum 7 hours of sleep every night. When people ask me, sa isang araw may 24 hours minus your 7 hours as a result of your discipline and consistency, you still have like 17 or 18 hours. I mean 17 hours. Sa 17 hours na yun, kakain ka na, whatever, reduce your 2 hours. You still have 15 hours. Sa 15 hours na yan, what do you do? At the end of the day, I always believe that there's always time for everything. And at the end of the day, sir, if I could respond to your question, I'm not the one alone doing it. That's why I have created leaders such as myself to help me make things possible. Salamat po.
Among your companies, what is the most profitable?
The bread and butter would always be the ad agency, followed by Wood and my consulting. But the chicken raising in Visayas is still significant enough. So what I do, I try to duplicate the businesses para i-reduce yung market share ng bawat negosyo kasi mas mataas ang risk kapag majority are isang business mawala. What happens to the rest of your business? So what you do, syempre kawawa din yung mga tao. Example, kapag nawala ng project, saan mo ililipat yung tao? So dapat may malilipatan sila. So that is the strategy I'm doing. Thank you.
I'm trying to wrap my mind on the connection ang tanong is, what is the parang common business model among your businesses na bakit iba-iba sila, pero you can manage it?
That's a very good question, sir. There's one word for that: culture. If your business has a very strong culture, kahit service-based yan, product-based kami, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Dahil inuuna mo ang tao mo and your person or your people feel that they are valued, the more that they will be happy. Regardless of what kind of business you may have, a strong culture helps you achieve success for your business. Salamat po.
Do you believe leaders are born or made?
Leaders are not born, they are made.
What influenced your passion for business? Like, does it have something to do with your family background?
Because of my mom, who is a single parent. She's annulled. I grew up without a father. She was all alone, managing all the businesses. So, when I was growing up, ayoko nadagdagan yung problema niya sa buhay niya. I started working at a very young age of 15. Hindi kaagad ako naging ganito. I started from the ranks. Nagsimula ako sa business namin, naging dicer ako, naging supervisor ako, hindi kaagad ako naging vice president na ganito. Nagko-commute lang ako. When after high school, wala pang K-12 nun. Sabi ng nanay ko, bigat ang racket. Magkano man? 400 pesos per day. Pwede na yan. Siguro ngayon sa 700 yun. Pang computer ko when I was 15. I became mature at a very young age because of my mom. And she has always been my inspiration. Actually, before coming in here, we celebrated in advance her birthday kanina sa office. And I was crying because my brother passed away last January. Dalawa lang kami magkapatid who is younger than me. So it was very difficult for the family to make decisions at this time. But we have to be strong kasi kung titigil ang mundo natin of what happened, kawawa ang tao. And that has always been our mission. So going back to your question, Mom, it's my mom.
How about Liverpool? Was it funded by your mom or you, or was it?
It was okay. Getting into Liverpool was a very difficult decision because what I did for ang ginawa ko sa doctorate ko, hindi siya typical PhD. A PhD will just train you to become university professors, university deans. Kami, it's a DBA, equal to a PhD, but it's applied. Like medical doctors. Ngayon, walang scholarship for that. I just want to invest on myself. So naghati kami ng nanay ko. Sabi ng mga friends ko, bakit ka ulit mag-aaral? May masters ka na. Sabi ko, wait. That decision is not for myself alone. Whatever I learned from Liverpool, isi-share ko yan pagbalik ng Pilipinas.
Why Liverpool?
It's one of the very few universities in the world, which is one of the top 100 in the world, that offers a combination of in-campus and online programs designed for working professionals. And the program could be completed in 6 to 7 years, and I was able to finish it in 5.5 years.
Did you encounter any discrimination there or culture shock as an Asian?
That's a very good question. When I was in the UK, I never had any experience of discrimination because, as I said kanina, they are very much welcome and open-minded. In fact, in the UK, the more you speak your mind, the more they are happy for you or with you. The more you keep quiet about what you think, the more that they will tell you, why are you not telling this to us? So, I have not experienced any discrimination. I feel welcome. I was happy. It was a very challenging year. Lahat ng mga friends ko, when I was in my 20s, nagpa-party ako, nagmumukmuk. Just to continue what I need to do, because I always believe that whatever I learn will be shared for my people. So that's what keeps me engaged, inspired, and motivated.
Meron ba kayong mga business that you started pero that never materialized in that continue? What is your advice dun sa mga gustong maging katulad nyo pero palaging fail yung kanilang?
Ang ganda po ng tanong niyo, sir. In 2018, coming from UK, nagtayo ako ng travel agency together with my partner from UK. Ang pangalan is EU Essential, but it never worked. Because COVID-19 came in and the restrictions started. So it was a failure. Now, if you will ask me, I think it should not be a question of what should they do as a result of always resulting to failures sa pagtatay ng negosyo. But rather, a question of, before ka magtayo ng negosyo, ano ba dapat ang meron? Aside from pera. Pera will always be there. But I think the right answer to the paraphrase question is, you need to create a business as a result of what you love doing. I shared that with Radyo Nagila, with Entrepinas. I shared that with Manila Standard, with my interview last year. And a couple of, with Philippine Star, with Nakaka-local MSMEs, because I also work with DTI for wood. Sabi ko, doing business is a result of what you love doing. It's not because of pera lang. Kasi kung isipin mo pera lang, ano gusto mo? Ba't gusto mo naman mag-negosyo? Gusto ko yung maman. That's the wrong question. That's the wrong answer to the question. But if you love what you do, kahit pagod ka na, kahit you feel like you're giving up, you will not stop because you love what you do. And that is, I think, the right answer to the right question.